Okay, we are live. Welcome to another edition of Leaders Being Heard, dedicated to the topic Lead Yourself. Today, we are discussing about how to deal with someone that does incomplete work. But before moving on, let's welcome our partners in the conversation today. Andra, Christina, welcome. Long time, long see. And we also have a new guest today, Manolo. Welcome.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah. So today's topic is quite interesting because we are going to look from different perspectives. This is why it's going to be, I would say, really awesome. So let's start. So what do we mean by incomplete work? This is one of the questions that, when we are talking about people doing incomplete work or teams doing incomplete work, what do we mean by that? Let's see what you guys think about it. Christina, would you like to share?
Okay. I think everybody has a personal understanding of what it means, incomplete work. And in a very short definition, I would say that it's a different in expectations. Like, for example, in conversation with a team member or a colleague, if in my mind I agreed, we agreed that that person would do something, and when I see the output, then I say, yeah, it does. I was not expecting this. I would have expected this and this and this and that. And here is a very short description of what I call incomplete work. But of course, things are not that easy. And they come in different perspectives. And as always, the output starts whether you set the stage. So I think there is a space we can discuss in this area, but also what do we do when we end up with the conclusion, it's not what I expected.
All right, got it. How about you, Manolo? What do you think about? What do you see in complete work?
Yeah, coming from the agile world, for me, incomplete work, it's work which is not according to the definition of done established by the teams. So basically, the checklist that ensure that the work is according with the quality established at the team level. Then we can consider that being incomplete work. How to deal with it? Basically, each iteration, if you have incomplete work, you should discuss at the end of iteration if that work will be continued, or you can put it back in the backlog and deal with it some other time in case the priorities are not the same. The important part is that incomplete work could be dangerous if you are trying to release it, because it could affect in a bad way the customers and will diminish the trust between the team and the stakeholders.
Got it. Thank you. What about you, Andra? Because we had like different perspectives here. One is more like the teams, one is more like I would say in relation one-to-one. What about you? How do you see incomplete work?
They already said incomplete work, to put it short, is like the result is not as expected.
And the question is like who evaluates this, right? I mean, this is the conversation with Christina, because what comes to my mind is like, if I'm doing the work, perhaps I consider complete. On the other hand, the other person might consider incomplete, or vice versa. I have perhaps some bigger expectations on how to do it, or what does complete work means, right? Like doing it perfect, like doing it in, I don't know, let's see, like if you write a document, right, some documentation to have nice pictures, to have no typos and things like this. I'm just saying, if you are talking about software, perhaps it's performance or whatever is there, right? So we have different perspectives, right? Different expectations. So we are judging incomplete work from the doer's perspective or from the one that assigns, let's put it like this, that generates the.
But the doer, I
task.
don't think he considers incomplete work. So definitely it's not from that perspective. It's from the
Oh,
one,
well.
I would say the one that asks for it. I ask for a task or I created as a BA
Mhm.
a user story. Yes. So I am somehow the owner of the task. I started that and then somebody else is doing it. And then at the end, I say, okay, it's incomplete. Even
Mhm.
in a team, as Manolo says, somebody did create that task.
Mhm.
And then it's incomplete. So it's to look at what is missing. Was the requirement incomplete? Was the
Mhm.
So I'm not saying from the doer. The doer, if he
Okay.
sees it's incomplete, he can communicate that.
Okay, got it. Christina, what do you see? Because I saw
Yeah,
you had the
also,
different.
yeah, I think, yeah, let's call it the challenging part is on the team leads or the receivers part, because let's consider the perspective of team lead because that's our space more. And as a team lead, when I assign a task, it's on my side. I need to be as clear as possible. I will never be able to be as clear as possible. My request will never be perfectly said, right? Because I'm biased. I am human. The other person is human as well, and they will go through their filters. However, we still want to diminish the incomplete work, right? So let's suppose me as a team lead, I expressed myself as clearly as I could, expected, set up some outcomes, some acceptance criteria. And even so, somebody manages to interpret my acceptance criteria in such a way that I'm not happy with the results. And I think here the conversation becomes difficult. Of course, it's difficult to prepare, but let's assume me as a team lead and the team member, we did all the due diligence to be in sync and in communication. And still at the end of the task, I see that instead of having functionalities listed, I see some components, which I can give a different meaning, you know? And I think here the challenge begins for a team lead. I mean, based on my experience, definitely this is a space to.
Okay, so let's, thank you, Christina. So let's look at this one, right? So we have incomplete work, right? It doesn't matter how it was generated or whatever. What's next? What are we doing then, right? What is that you usually do?
You can start with Manolo, yeah?
I guess, yeah. I suppose I have to answer this. What we are doing with the incomplete work, basically, you need to make it visible first, and visible and comprehensible for everybody. How much incomplete is the work, and trying to gain a common understanding from all the parties that the amount of incompleteness it's understood and clear for everybody. Then you put the remaining work back into the backlog and you order and prioritize the work accordingly with the expected value that is delivered, that it will be delivered in the future. And this is a process. I mean, coming back to what Christina said about different expectations, I think in agile environments, there is this activity which is ongoing activity of refinement, the the tasks, the stories, the backlog. The refinement has basically the purpose to create this common understanding of the work that is going to be tackled by the teams in the near future. If you have incomplete work at some point in time, then you should refine to have this understanding and see when and how you can deal with it.
So what I got from what you are sharing, Manolo, is the most important is to make the incompleteness visible, right? Not to put it under the rug.
Yeah.
And then it's something, once you see it, you can move it, right? You can action on it.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You can replan it, you can look at what's there. Got it.
Absolutely. So imagine that you have some technical debt. Technical debt, you can have it consciously, because I know you have some constraints about the timelines, you need to deliver something, or you can incur the technical debt unconsciously because, I don't know, you didn't figure it out something at a point in time. If you are doing consciously, then you are cutting some corners just because you need to bring some features earlier to your customers from different reasons. The important part of the technical debt is that you need to make this visible to everybody, because on the long term, this technical debt could backfire to your team, and basically it will slow down progress in the future. Technical debt is basically incomplete work somehow, because you are aware you took some shortcuts when you are creating or you are writing some code, if you are doing software, or I don't know, delivering something.
Got it. Christina, what about you? What is for you there?
I'm thinking of when you are in a team and in Agile, that's why Agile frameworks are great, because they kind of force you to look and bring forward, because you have these retrospectives. But I'm thinking about, let's say, in a non-regulated environment, like it's a small project, 1 month, you don't have time to organize as a pace, and you have ad hoc tasks. And I'm thinking about, okay, when there is incomplete work and you have a deadline and you have something to achieve, I mean, I don't have time to declare technical backlog, because I have to finish it, This is a time when it becomes super challenging, because the process does not allow. I mean, I'm not running into a process that allows me to fix or to handle, and I think here it's a challenge for team leads, or this is a situation that is more obvious where team leads, I think, we face the challenge. How do we deal with incomplete work? And how do we deal with communication between people? That is one thing to put it in a team and say, okay, we acknowledge this task was not finished. Okay, we acknowledge it. Let's discuss together what we do with it. Okay. And there is something else when it is, I'm in a one-on-one with a person, and it was an agreement between 2 persons. And then the space opens up, because it can be, I don't know, the challenges that I can see. So maybe it's something that I consider it's incomplete work, but that person has a different profession, and they can say, you're not a software architect. How can you challenge me? Yeah. Or it can be, you didn't tell me that I needed to do that. Or it can be, I didn't have time. Or it can be a lot of things. However, the fact is, I'm not happy with the result. What do I do then? And yeah, this is a space I think
got it. What is the space? So now we are making the circle. We are going to Andra, and I would say Andra is like, I like this perspective in a way, because Manolo was putting the team. We are going towards the person and the relation between the the manager and the employee, let's put it like this, right? When we say manager, we also refer in a project or whatever, like
Colleague.
the colleague, right? And now it's like, how do you, first of all, how do you deal with this? How do you prepare for such conversation? What is something that is there for you, right? From the communication point of view.
I was listening to Christina and Manolo, and from what Manolo said, it's more about the process. We have definition of done. Yeah, it's a team. Then it's what Christina said. It's about relationships and communication. And your question is, how do you prepare to have? It's still like a blaming culture. Yeah, as Christina said, if you go and ask why, there are reasons. Yeah. Always, as human beings, we tend to say it's something outside. I've done my best, so it's something outside. Either you did not provide, either the circumstances did not, the stars did not align, and I have not done it. Yeah, but it's not me. I cannot be responsible for it. Yeah, this is how we react when somebody comes to us and we think we are being accused of not doing our work properly. We are like under attack. Yeah. So as a manager, when you go, your question was, how can you prepare? Is first is you can do some work with yourself. What's your intention when you go to that person? Is it to blame them? Is it that you want to make it work in the future? Yeah, maybe it happened a few times. Yeah. So it's for you to clear what's your intention when you go there. If you go from a frustration, if you go from, oh, this person again is doing that, yeah, they are going to smell it. It's going to be all over your face. It's going to be, yeah. So it's for you to clear when you have that intention. What is that I want to, yeah. So my intention is to make it work, yeah, in the future. Make it work for me, for that person, for the project, yeah. It's performance, to put it in other terms. So this is how you can prepare for the conversation. So you do, it's as Christina said, when we are on the run and we need to deliver, we don't stop. So then a lot of things we do from reaction. Oh, they did not do it. I need to tell them or whatever. Yeah. Or I don't say anything at all. So this is a problem that I want to be liked as a manager. Yes, I don't want to upset them. I don't want to think that they are being accused. So there are so many reasons for why not to tell them. Oh, I will tell them in the one-on-one when I see them in a month. So the idea is deal when it happens. Take your time to see what's your intention. Like if you keep allowing it and then you say, you've been doing that for a few months, well, I will tell you, well, I only hear that the first time, yeah? You did not tell me the first time it happened.
And I would say another, before you move on, because you said something interesting here, like you never say. One of the young managers or young leaders, what they do is to do the work on their own, right? You take the work that was incomplete and you do it on your own.
Yeah, I know the project, I know the code, it's fine, I will do it. I will do some bit of overtime, it's fine. Yeah, true. It's
what happens next?
It's much easier not to have the conversation. We all agree. It's not comfortable to have it because you don't know how they will respond. Yeah. So that is why it's important for you to know the intention. Because if they say, oh, are you accusing me? Yeah. Then you can say, no, that is not my intention. Yeah. I wanted to make it work. Yeah. I'm not attacking you as a person, as an individual. Yeah. I'm talking about something that I gave you and it's incomplete. Yeah. What's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the excuses might come. Yeah. I did not have enough detail. All of them. Yeah. You can just pack that. You don't need to engage into there are all circumstances. Yeah. You don't think you can listen to them, but you don't engage into them. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, the other person is right. You don't need to approve to the reasons. Yeah, this is how it was for them. Okay. And then you can get that. You can listen to all of that because probably they need it. You listen, and then I have a tool that I just created, and I'm looking at the steps. There were a few steps. So this one, I don't remember the order I said. I will put a link with that. Is then it's for you to share what is the impact of them not doing everything that is needed. Look, when you don't do that as complete as is required, yeah, I need to go to take an extra hour to clear with everybody how come it's not done, yeah, or the project is impacted, or the team is impacted. Everybody has done their part, and yeah, you can share that, and then you can look at what can be done in the future, so we don't end up in the same situation, yeah. Do you want me to come check in with you? What is, you can ask the other person, what is that you need? So next time it doesn't happen. What is that you can do that next time you finish? No matter the circumstance, because we already always have circumstance. So something unpredictable happens. Yeah, so kind of these are the steps of the conversations. The conversation. Don't engage in reasons, listen to them, and then see what can be done about the future, and also share what's the impact. I think this is the most difficult, yeah, to say when you don't do it, when it's not properly done, these are the consequences. Okay,
Okay, so
I'm all
thank you,
excited here. I stopped.
thank you for this. We can see that. So let's see. Let me summarize what I got, right, in a way. So first of all, is to be in communication, and also to kind of come from a place that is not blaming, is more or less like making it work for all of us in a way. And then it's to go in conversation and actually acknowledge all what happened without actually going to reasons and, oh, it's so hard, yeah, you are right, and so on. So anyway, these are just acknowledge them without any etiquette, any label. It's bad, it's good, it's I agree, I don't agree, whatever is there, right? And create a new future, what is to be done for the future, and also make present to the impact. And here is something that we go back to the to the circle, and I have it Manolo on my screen, and I'm just asking now, is like, okay, so it happens with the team member that did incomplete work. What happens the next time it happens? This is something that, right, because you see, like in the next sprint, the team is again not doing incomplete work, or some team member continues to do incomplete work. What is there to be done in what do you do then?
Well, basically bring it to the team. Always. One of the characteristics of high performance teams is that the teams are committed to support each other. Doesn't matter the situation. So if the team encounters some behaviors, I don't know, some low performance from some team members, or I don't know, something is happening and someone is not completing the work constantly, there is a good place in the retrospective to discuss this together in a very mature way, without blaming, of course, but trying to understand the situation, why it's happening that on a constant pace. So maybe trying to understand where the team member is. Maybe it has some impediments, maybe it has some issues which could be also personal that impedes his work. Maybe it's a lack of skills to deliver something complete. So trying to identify the root cause and work together in a respectful way to overcome those impediments, and trying to help the individual to increase his performance in the future. Of course, it's about also the attitude, but there should be a set of values that should be, I don't know, adhered to. And if you are seeing that some behaviors are not in concordance with this set of values, then you should discuss those situations.
There is something here in what you are sharing, what correlates somehow with what Andra was saying. It's subtle, but I think it's like the place that you are coming from when you have this conversation, right? You said it like it's mature, it's not blaming, but it's also like what Andra was saying, like, oh, let's not engage into fact, into conversation, into reasons, right? Just acknowledge them and then make it work for all of us. This is what Andra was saying, and this is what I see in what you are sharing as well, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
if you're a manager, let's say, or some kind of leader that is followed by the rest of the team, or if you are a part of the leadership team, let's say, outside of the team, let's say, basically what you should do, you should create an environment in which the team could thrive. I mean, they could become better and better. Create this environment. Maybe they have some impediments, or the individuals have some impediments. You should be there to help. So the first question should be, how can I help you with this situation in which you are?
Got it. Christina, what about you? What is like the second time when the person in a one-to-one relation doesn't do the work? What do you do then? Because I would assert if you are under a time pressure, there is some frustration building up there.
Yeah, there is. I find in my experience, I find it a different. It's a different experience when we are engaged in a long-term project. When you have time to build trust, you have time to share vulnerability and to kind of reach an agreement. I learn to listen to you, you learn to listen to me, something like that. But in shorter relationships, yeah, this becomes a bit more abrupt, maybe, or you don't have time to learn. And yeah, as Andra was saying, maybe the first temptation, even if you are willing to understand and to be open and to come from a conversation of building further, the short-term reaction might be, I will do it. The short-term reaction might be, how do I get it done? You know, maybe somebody can do it faster, whatever. And so if you, after a second conversation, first time, let's say we discuss and share, okay, I meant this, please, can you do that? And we have the open conversation and the colleague says, okay, I get it, rework. And then I see there is something missing again. I think here it's an equilibrium between time pressure. Where do you stop? What is good enough? I mean, it's a conversation. It's also a negotiation. And how can I help? How can somebody help? So there are multiple tools that are available, and there is no prescribed recipe. There is no recipe for success. It's whatever you think it works best in that circumstance. You might not choose the right one, or you might choose the successful one. What I found is that sometimes I can also stop from wanting something. Sometimes I insist because I know I want it done in a certain way, and I state it. I mean, I usually end up saying, I know this is a fix from my side, please accept it. I mean, I say it openly to stress the importance. And long story short is I'm trying to make it work with that colleague. You know, so to stop myself from saying I will do it.
Got it.
It's a learning process.
Got it. We only have 1 minute, and I have the final question for Andra. So I think what Manolo and Christina are saying is not reality. In reality, people are just giving up, or just saying, "Oh, it's not
Yes.
going to work."
Yeah.
What do you do then, Andra?
It's so as a manager, as a leader, you can look at yourself and to say, do the work, as I said. Maybe you want to be nice. Oh, I'm repeating. I don't want to. Yes. Look a bit at that and go back to agreement. You had a conversation and you agreed on something, and then it did not happen. You created a new agreement. That did not happen. You go back and you can say, acknowledge, as you said, we agreed that next time you are going to tell me 2 days before or something. Yeah. You did not do that. Yeah. You look again at that and you create a new agreement, but it's for you to hold that person to account to the agreement. And it's to be in communication, as Christina said. You don't need to enforce it why it's needed. It's because it sounds like you're excusing yourself that you are coming again. No, you can be just straight. This is what it is. We had 2 iterations. Yeah. This is what I still see is needed. Yeah. So let's work on that. It's the way I say it, it comes from a different place than, oh, excuse me, you need to do the work. Yeah. And this is what is needed. We can look for the future. Yeah. It's go back to agreements. It's when you do that, you put yourself at risk as a manager to be said that, oh, she's always doing that or that. But this is on your side, and it's for you who you want to be. If you want it to work or you want to look good, there is always a choice. I'm not saying choose. Yeah. That's it.
So what I say is like being relentless, being there on the field and
Communicate.
communicate with people. So this is it for today. Thank you all for this conversation, this powerful conversation. We'll see you next time. And for you at home watching us, thank you for watching us, and share with us, what do you do when someone does incomplete work? And don't forget to subscribe and like the video to be up to date with what we are doing. Thank you, ladies.